Welcome to the Good Talk, where we recap the game that just happened and take your questions that were sent in during that time. Last game was crazy fun, super competitive, and a blast. Everything that was out in the open kind of just died.
Your stuff out in the open was actually fine. It was mostly my stuff that was out in the open.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, the last turn, you just like cleaned up house.
Yeah.
Really.
I was glad that my output with shooting and combat combined was enough to match your output in shooting. But like that's all your army does. So like we were actually kind of pretty evenly matched in output. It was just the movement that made the game back and forth.
Yeah.
And we both had a lot of really good tools. The infiltrators kept me from ever harassing your backfield objective.
Dude, yeah, that was like just a free objective.
Forever. And that was big because you were harassing my free objective from turn 1.
And Victor, cool, it's right there.
And it's also so hard for me to get there. I got lucky. I rolled a 5 on the advance for the chaos spawn turn 1.
Yeah.
And that could have just been bad.
Yeah.
Like if I don't make it to that point, I lose. That's a 10-point swing because I lose 5 primary and you gain 5 primary.
Yeah.
Hold more.
And the game, spoilers, guys, if you haven't watched the game yet, make sure you go back and watch it because we're about to spoil a bunch if we didn't already spoil it. Bridger won by 5.
I won by 5 points, so close.
Yeah.
Going into this, everybody, myself included, was like, Death Guard have -1 damage.
Yeah.
Like it's a mirror
most
match.
Most of my guns are 2. Like literally the vast majority of my guns are 2. I have like a 2d6 shots that are, 3 damage.
Yeah.
Predominantly 2 damage guns. My output was insane. Like I don't have a ton of reps. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a ton of reps with this list. But like, man, I can see why it's a top list.
It has teeth.
And I don't think I would have done anything like super different. I think it definitely, I overestimated and underestimated a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like my shooting, a lot of times just overkilled. And then like my Overwatch, when I kind of did the greater good, I thought I was going to hit with more. I should have probably hit with more.
That was...
Like when I rolled 16 dice, I should have gotten a couple 6s.
Right.
That was
especially with the rerolls.
horrendously bad.
that was kind of like a key moment, I feel like.
Yeah.
That could have gone a little better.
Wait, like this is like I have 2 good stratagems in Ultramarines. I'm going to use them a lot. This is one of them. Spent 2 CP. Hit with like maybe 1 or 2 things from the Redemptor. That shot.
But it's true. Like as a Tau player, like in 8th Ed, when you have a really good greater good and like the person charging you doesn't charge you, frequently after that, it's like that can be it.
Yeah.
Right. That could be
the
that's
game,
when I was gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
And now I'm not going to because they're all dead.
Right.
Right. Or if by contrast, like kind of like you had, suddenly you're tagged everywhere.
Yeah.
It can be lights out, right?
Totally. Yeah.
And the Terminators are the thing that the Volkite really doesn't want to shoot. It's AP 0.
Right.
Spiking to AP 1 on 6s. So 6s are the only thing that do anything against those Terminators because you get the Mortal and you get an AP 1. So if I fail that 3-up, I lose a model per 6 that you roll. But like, you don't want to be shooting AP 0 guns at Terminators.
Yeah. For sure.
Can I ask, we use the custom chapter tactics. That's what the list uses.
Yeah.
Why so much better than just being straight Ultramarines?
I mean, Ultramarines are cool. They can fall back and stuff, but like really this list, since we're running Dreads, Whirlwind of Rage, really good in combat. Now I have a Dread that has 5 attacks on the charge. Now can get more attacks on 6s. So it's like a multiplier there. I have like, this list has 5 or 6 crazy multipliers that just like skyrocket my list and just kills everything in sight. I'm surprised I only forgot one about half the time. I know Master Artisans is the other one, the other successor chapter that you can pick up, and that's 1 free reroll every time you go to hits. That works in combat as well. So then now I'm hitting on 3s in combat, rerolling 1, and then if I'm within Chapter Master, I reroll 1s always.
So the idea is like, you're going to fight your way out of combat.
Right. It's a super well-rounded, fighty, shooty list. And then I have like 2 Dreadnoughts that don't have Chapter Master or +1 to hit, and that's where I'm utilizing the Master Artisans. Now if I roll a 2, I'm already rerolling 1, so I'll reroll the 2 as well.
And I think like, I heard that there were a lot of people saying like, you forgot the free reroll, but to be honest, you killed almost everything you shot at for the entire game.
Yeah, like especially up until turn 5, right? Where you just kind of threat overloaded me. We were just dogpiling for the middle.
The Plague Rush Crawler who lived on 1 wound, probably would have died, but we also forgot miasma.
Yeah. It was
a wash. It's like-
yeah,
Everything else, he just killed everything he shot at every time.
totally. Yeah.
Which is like, okay, he forgot the rerolls and still killed me. Great.
Yeah.
moving on.
That's something I just totally overestimated as well. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm like, whatever is in sight
so
of my 4
lethal.
dreadnoughts just dies. And you played it really well where you weren't exposing yourself too much. We were playing a 9th edition game.
Yeah.
We were just barely getting on objectives. You made a lot of 9-inch charges.
So many
I was
9-inch charges.
I was like, okay, like I can peek out the Invictor.
Was that turn 4? When was that?
Every
that you made
turn,
all,
Zach.
but you
Starting
made all
on
of them
turn
on-
2,
you
Zach.
made all of them
Starting
like in
on
a
turn
cluster.
2.
Yes.
Zach, turn 2, I
Yes.
lose the game if I don't make a 9-inch charge.
And you made it.
I was like,
That's
okay,
bad.
because I was like, if you saw the play at on the second turn, I was on 4 objectives
Right.
at the end of turn 2. I could have been on 3, but I was like, oh, this chaos spawn. If I kill this chaos spawn, he's not going to put anything on there.
Right.
Turn 2, he has to like deep strike in, make a 9-inch charge.
Yeah.
Like, the odds are in my favor.
Yep.
I lose the Invictor, but the odds are in my favor. What do?
Take the 9-inch my 9-inch charge.
9-inch charge.
Every time, man.
And then again, the preceding turn with Poxwalkers
Every time.
onto the objective, super awesome. I probably could have screened a little better, but I was like in a position where I wanted to screen my very, very back corner where I couldn't deal with things. And I also wanted to have my other intercessors able to kind of go up into the middle of the board if I need to.
Yeah.
So I was in a weird position as well.
I had 4 9-inch charges, and if I failed any of them, I lose the game. Like, it's more than a 5-point swing every time, and I only won by 5 points. So, a lesson to everybody out there, ABC,
Yeah, right.
it
was such a
Brian
good
and
game.
Adrian say, if your game plan hinges on a 9-inch charge, you're probably doing it wrong. I don't know. Maybe if you're just lucky, it just works.
It was good. It was a really fun game. I was like, everything that could have happened. It was super fun.
Yeah.
And I love the kind of dog pile in the middle that we did.
It was a wild game.
You guys have MVPs?
MVPs, that's right. Oh man. That's so hard. This list is so clean, so good.
The haulers? What do you think?
No. I think the Blight Haulers did way less than I needed them to. They had one turn where I needed them to pop off and they bounced. When I put myself out, I had a turn where I put everything out. I was like, the 2 remaining Plague Bush Crawlers and all 3 Blight Haulers go, and only 2 of the Blight Haulers could shoot, and they just did not. Like, John made all the saves, which is not the fault of the Blight Hauler, but it's the fault of the Blight Hauler. Come on.
They could have had better AP.
He didn't involve. But
What about the Death Shroud?
the Death Shroud are my MVP because when everything else failed, they came in so clutch.
Oh, yeah.
They solved every problem. They were
Right.
like, 9-inch charge, you got it. Another 9-inch charge, you got it. We're in combat with literally anything, we'll just kill it. Problem solved.
Yeah. You need the middle turn on turn 5, turn 4? We got
Done.
you.
We got you, man.
What about you, John? What do you think?
Oh man, that's a good question. It has to be one of the dreads. Just which one is it?
Between the 2 dreads, you have to think about this?
I mean, the Contemptors on average do more. But did they do more this game, or did they disappoint me?
Oh, I see. Because
You know
you,
what I'm
didn't roll
saying?
enough 6s, you felt bad.
Right.
I'll tell you what, that's the experience of every Volkite Contemptor player ever.
Sure.
It's like, you know the math, and they roll like okay, and you're like,
Yeah.
but they could have been amazing. Like, they're really
Right,
good.
the potential's there.
They're like 10 to 15% better than they should be, but like, they're not 50% better than they should be. And
Yeah.
that's what I want right now, because I could have.
Yeah. All the Volkite Contemptor players in chat are just like, first time?
Yeah.
For first time with Volkites? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
The
yeah.
Volkite Contemptor players.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a...
Well,
that's like a
all right,
fact.
Zach.
You
That's
know
the
who
thing.
they know who that
I know what you mean, but I just love that, like...
Zach, that's like 50% of the competitive community. It's all of Imperium and Chaos.
That's true, I guess. Yeah, Chaos has it as well.
I'm like predominantly a Drukhari player, so I'm like, I know who those people are.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
there's a niche there.
There is a niche. They're the Jakes of the world.
The Jakes, yeah.
LVP, definitely.
I love how we're doing LVP.
I know, right?
Like,
What is,
No, we
what is
gotta do
Bridger and
LVPs.
I?
What
There's always an
underperformed?
LVP.
there's always an LVP.
What underperformed? Poxwalkers.
Yeah, in this
They just got picked up.
in this army, in this matchup, it's weird, right? They're kind of your most valuable thing because it's the OBSEC, and I have everything OBSEC potentially. So there's really great ways that they can come in clutch, but they're also the first thing that you usually throw out. So it's really counterintuitive of what you're trying to do with them, and
the
it makes
Volkite
sense.
becomes...
Oh, the Volkite just
everything. It's
amazing.
like The Redemptor has like 8 guns, and 7 of them are perfect for killing Poxwalkers and don't want to shoot anything else. So the Contemptor's like, all right, plasma there, and I don't know, just like everything else picks up all those Poxwalkers. And then the Volkites can still go into my good stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. Well said.
Who's your LVP?
Oh,
Since
man.
we're doing this.
The LVP is really my fault. But like at the same time, like the Invictors, they could have played a big role. They didn't. They, you know, Bridger rolled hot in the charge.
Did.
You know, they played their role. They didn't make back their points, but they had the potential was there. It just didn't come into play this game. I could have picked up a lot of Poxwalkers on the first turn when I kind of peeked out. Didn't. And then I just lost the guy.
So
I just
badly.
lost the guy.
You rolled so badly for like 2/3 of the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, you did.
But I mean, you did as well. I think it all came back all at once, and then it kind of skews us in how we perceive it, right? But
Always.
I just rolled well when it mattered,
yeah.
which was the 9-inch charges.
They were big. That was crazy. That's
And then the multi-meltas just one shot in the Redemptor.
That was
just like
hilarious.
BM.
we just didn't know. We almost like didn't know that it could happen.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
like forgot.
I was
We were
like,
I forgot
oh,
how powerful multi-melt
that's right. When they actually hit and you're close.
And their melter range,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, oh yeah, no,
Awesome.
that can happen.
Cool.
Well-
that was kind of our cool recap. I know Bridger has
Yeah,
a
I do have one thing to address. Damonit taught me how to get rid of the bots. I banished the bots. No longer shall we be plagued by robots telling us to go watch videos of things that are not appropriate. We turned on sub-only chat, but you just click you can subscribe for free. It's YouTube. You just click the subscribe button. You can chat. And the bots don't know how to subscribe. They're too dumb.
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe they'll learn.
But then at least we get a subscriber.
Actually, YouTube's really good. True, but YouTube.
We got him. We got him.
We got it.
The bots were on our side all along.
And that would be a lot of subs because the way the bot works is you ban it and it just makes a new account and starts spamming again. So we can get a lot of free subs. But no, YouTube's really good at killing sub bots.
Right.
I guess they just don't care about spam bots. Anyway, the bot's dead. If you want to chat and you're here and you can't chat, just sub to the channel. Also, why are you here if you're not subbed to the channel? Come on.
They could have happened upon us, you know?
On the Q&A?
Oh,
Come on.
you
Sub to the
I
channel.
don't know. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I know we have a few questions. At
yeah,
least.
let's get into it. Thank you, Heinz, as always. Hey guys, nice games and go Ultramarines. If I'm going to a tournament, am I allowed to choose different warlord traits and relics every game, or do I have to stick to the same all tournament long?
Good question. Thanks for the
Support?
Heiss. So in 8th, it was actually a little different. You can like kind of pick and choose a little more. In 9th edition, we actually, everything happens in the list building phase.
Yeah.
This kind of makes the game go a lot quicker, especially in a tournament setting, right? So you do all your relics, your warlord traits, all pre-game in the list building phase. Yeah.
I remember when we went from 8th to 9th, I complained for, I want to say a year.
Yeah.
For a year, I was like dead set on the old system was better.
Yeah.
It allows for more interesting play.
Flexibility, yeah.
You just play more of the books. You're like, oh, so I only pick one relic and warlord trait, and it's on my data sheet. Okay, I will pick this warlord trait and this relic every time, every game, for the rest of my life. That's not fun. That's not cool. So I was like on this bandwagon, or this pulpit, really. I was like on my soapbox, like, bring it back. Bring back picking before every game. Bring it back. But now that I've seen the reality of 9th edition, where there's like 1 billion rules, everybody has 1 billion rules. We don't need that anymore. I think we're good.
Yeah.
So the new system, just for manageability, being able to understand and recall everybody's rules,
Sure.
it's best to just have it on the army roster.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely simplifies the game in a good way. You don't want to be sitting around a table waiting for your opponent to, tech into you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
sense.
And these days it's like, you could just make something up. And there's so much in every book that people will just believe you.
Yeah.
And you, that's the malicious perspective, but there's also just I got it wrong. Like, I don't play
Right.
with this all the time. Like, this happens because we play new armies all the time. Like,
Yeah,
we'll just
yeah.
get stuff slightly wrong.
Yeah.
In
of course.
competitive settings where like this is your army, you can't do that. You have to get your rules right all the time.
There's a lot of potential for like getting a roll half right
Yeah.
based on the game you just had. And against Xenos, it does this, and now you're playing a
Right.
chaos player, so you take this different thing, and you're kind of you're rerolling everything. You're only supposed to reroll ones
Right.
with this
Yeah.
relic. You know,
So
stuff
many
like
rules,
that.
guys. Be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Just be chill.
Yeah. Well, obviously, most of the time it's not intentional. So yeah.
Thanks again, Heis. He says, so I finally got the new Kill Team box. What do you think about new Kill Team? And do I really have to wait until they release all the different factions one after another? Have I missed something?
Bridger.
I think it's cool. I think the new models are awesome, and it's kind of the Warcry problem, where like there's two different power levels. In Warcry, it's like the people who are in the Warcry box are all pretty well balanced, and then they gave rules to all the AOS factions to play Warcry, and within that, it's like reasonably balanced, but if you play those together, it's terrible. Kill Team is like that now, where if you have a campaign book, you're just better than all the people who don't have a campaign book. And so yes, you will have to wait, but the rules with the campaign books look awesome. They're super flavorful, and they're great. The commandos are derpy and goofy, and they like have a man sledgehammer, and like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Super flavorful. The models are great. It is weird that they released an index that costs like $50. Like just the core rules just to get the compendium or whatever. It has all the units,
Yeah.
the data sheets. And the data sheets are pretty bare. There's like no special rules on any data sheets. It's just weapons
Yeah.
and like war gear and stuff. And like you can kit them out with equipment, but like it's half the rules of the game. The rest of the rules come in your campaign book. So yeah, you'll have to wait probably a long time, because they're going to be like maybe quarterly campaigns, just like normal Warhammer. Do we have quarterly campaigns? We do, right? How often do campaigns come out?
It should be at least quarterly. I feel like they do. Yeah. The book containing.
I think it's roughly quarterly. They come in spurts,
I think I might even be optimistic.
but then
yeah.
it's like you'll get 2, and then there'll be a long wait, and then you get 2, and then there's a long
Yeah,
wait sometimes.
maybe, yeah.
Anyway,
Averages out.
it averages out. Yeah, I don't know. Depends on what faction you like. If you're waiting a long time, you'll be really bummed.
Totally.
Thank you, Noah. To preface this, John is awesome. Can he explain his turn 1 Invictor strat and his general prep with the list? Did they devote more time to TTTTT prep?
Hey, yeah. I mean, for prep, not super well versed with the list, so I went out Wednesday. Zach, you were still doing the bases and stuff. Everyone was still doing
Yeah.
it. So I took like some Imperial Fists and stuff and went out to my local hobby store, played a couple games, and kind of got the gist of how the army kind of moves. But yeah, not a huge time devotion there, but got some reps in, got familiar with the list. Really, really good. It was a close game. But T1
Turn
Invictor
1
strat.
Invictor.
I think
you
they're
were gonna
referring to
redeploy?
the redeploy. That's not solely on Invictors. That's a Ultramarine specific.
Well, I think Noah means like just what was your
Yeah.
thinking?
Oh, strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
strategy in general, not
I
stratagem.
wanted the board control. I made sure not to give him any charges onto objectives. That would be catastrophe. But I needed to, contest, 2 sides just so he's not deep striking something from reserve onto these points, like right on, and he just sits there for free. So I, had my guy there contest it, and he did his job. He killed the guy that was on the objective on kind of your strong side, and then made you make a 9-inch charge
Yeah.
for that objective rather than just giving it to you.
I think people's thought process with this is that if you don't get first turn, right?
Yeah. Oh, turn
can,
1.
You can pull back,
Right,
But then
exactly.
of course you're giving up points, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's you're giving up potential points for Bridger down the road. Yeah. Especially with things like direct assault and stranglehold in play, right? All the secondaries.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, my list was definitely more flexible than Bridger's. Like, he does have a lot of deep strike, but I'm definitely more mobile and control-y than he is. Just because, that's kind of like my auxiliary kind of arms, I like to call them, outside of my kind of death ball.
All things considered, I should have lost that game. I just rolled hot at like times that I needed to. And I think you played really well. Like, Noah is in chat right now saying like this comes from a place of love. Don't take
No.
take offense to
Like,
this.
yeah. Totally.
And like, I think 2 games is probably a reasonable amount of prep for a list like this. This is like,
It's a very telegraphed list. I
Yeah.
mean, if you know how Marines work, you know how, Ultramarines is as vanilla as you can get.
Yeah.
They're just super flexible in their kind of strategy overall. But yeah.
And this isn't like John's first month in competitive 40K, right? So
Oh, it's not?
I
thought
that.
I saw you at
I tried
events.
to
For like 4 or 5 years. I thought I saw that, but
No, but thank you. I actually super appreciate all the critiques that people give me. Because I'm also a competitive player outside of this. I want to get better as a player.
Yeah.
And a lot of what Tabletop Titans gives me is the chance to play so many different lists and against so many other different lists for my own knowledge, right?
And it's nice because, right, you're not normally an Ultramarines guy, but then again, you weren't normally a Grey Knights guy.
And now I am,
now
right?
you won't stop
In
talking
love
about
with
it.
Grey
Totally, yeah. And if it happens to be a meta list, then now I'm like super familiar when I play
you
my
play
own
against
list,
it.
and I play against it, exactly.
Thank you, Paul. Hey guys, loving seeing Gilliman's finest in action. Question, playing my Ultramarines against Tyranids tomorrow. Any advice? You guys probably have some thoughts on
man,
this.
you can be
yeah.
really mean in that
can,
matchup.
yeah.
If you have Tyrannic War Veterans, or really just any model that you can call a Tyrannic War Veteran, you can be really mean. Because Ultramarines have a unit that's just specifically like, we hate Tyranids. We get bonuses against Tyranids. And we're also mega cheap because they forgot we exist.
And
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of shooting.
in general advice.
Yeah,
Outside Tyrannic
yeah,
War
because there's no,
Veterans.
yeah.
We sometimes forget that Tyranids almost wiped out Ultramarines in the background, right? Like that's kind of.
I don't know the exact list. If it's a friendly time, try to, account accordingly. Don't be too mean with Ultramarines. And play Tyranids right.
I think it depends a lot on what your Tyranid opponent is bringing, because if they have like a competitive list, if they have 6 Hive Guard and they have
2 Dumacarons.
Exocrine and like a bunch of chaff, so they'll throw chaff on points and then just shoot you all game.
Yeah.
You will struggle because that Tyranid list is designed to crush Space Marines. It's like the Space Marine killer.
Yeah.
So what should he be on the lookout for?
Well, if they have those things, you need to bring a lot of Dreadnoughts, because Dreadnoughts will just dunk on
Half the
everything I
damage,
described.
Yeah.
Like you bring Redemptors and Volkite Contemptors, or
They're high toughness.
just any Dreadnoughts.
-1 damage. You can throw Invulns on them.
Yeah.
Although Tyranids don't really have great AP, they typically don't, right? So
Oh, there you
But
go.
they have,
in a way,
yeah.
you almost don't. Then you don't need
Oh,
them.
you don't even
You
need.
have
That's so
AP3
you
on
can actually
the-
cut.
On the Exocrine, you have AP3, and in combat, you
that's
have a lot
true.
of AP3. That goes to 4 sometimes. So like the invuln will matter, but the -1 damage is crippling in that matchup because they have so much 2 damage. So you're just like doo, and your high toughness. They're used to winning things on 2s, and they're like, oh, you're T7, gotta wound you on 3s now.
And if you are taking like Primaris or something, a Primaris list, take an Apothecary. Hedge the damage a little bit.
Yeah.
For that same exact reason.
Oh, dude, a 6 of Film of Pain against Hive Guard rolling D3s.
Yeah.
It's miserable. It's like actually the majority of time
Yeah.
your Hive Guard don't kill models. That sucks.
Oh man.
Is there anything he can do about Hive Guard? If he got some pesky Hive Guard in the back, just
Not as Ultramarines.
yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. They ignore cover, or they can, right?
Ultramarines generally don't have the tools to get to them. And I would say you could tech Ultramarines into trying to get to the Hive Guard to touch them, but doing that will probably just lose you the game in other ways. Like if you bring a Vanguard veteran squad, let's say you put a ton of points into it. It's like a 10-man Vanguard squad
Drop in.
with like Storm Shield and Lightning Claw, and they're going to screen you. You can't deep strike.
Right.
You just got to be sprinting across the board.
Just like
You'll
screaming
die
and dying. Yeah.
before you get there. Like the reason you brought 10 with Storm Shields is they gonna die, and you're not gonna make it to the Hive Guard. So I wouldn't even try.
Yeah.
Which is it's a bad game plan. I don't know.
Just cope. If he's got Hive Guard, you just got to deal with it.
Just table everything else with Dreadnoughts, and you'll win.
Thank you, Josh B. Shout out for my boy Jared, who's hanging out, painting minis, and
Hey.
watching this for his birthday.
Oh, what up, Jared?
Jared, happy birthday, man.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jared. We should shout out to Brett. It was his birthday yesterday.
It was
Dude,
Brett's birthday.
Yeah.
Brett.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy
Hope
birthday,
you're having
Brett.
a good vacay.
I was on a call with him, and he was like, "It's my birthday," and I was like, "Happy birthday, Brett." Great story. That was a good story.
Yeah.
Wow. Riveting, really.
Thank you, Josh, and yeah, happy birthday, Jared.
Yeah, man. I hope you're. I wonder what you're painting. I hope you're, having a good. Seems like a chill birthday. Painting, having a good time, hanging out, watching a stream. I dig it.
Yeah.
It's a good weekend
My
in general.
birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you, James. Hey guys, have my second Tau game and only 6th game ever next week. Need advice into a Dreadnought Minotaur list.
Whoa.
What secondaries and general advice?
Whoa, that's awesome. It sounds like it's going to be very like,
Shooty.
yeah, like shooty, like very robot heavy matching going on there. Definitely to the last, probably got to do to the last
you
for
could,
Tau.
yeah.
If you're bringing a lot of suits, if you're bringing like riptides, things like that. If you have really hefty suits with drones behind them, definitely take
if
to
you
the
bring
last.
the Relic Ion, I'd bring the Relic Ion because that's a without great invulns,
On a
that's like
Riptide,
that's a gone Dreadnought a turn, almost for sure, right?
And you could, if you're feeling saucy, you take rail broadsides with the Magnet Rail rifles.
Oh my god!
That's
Wait,
pretty much
hold on,
two dead.
hold on,
now
guys.
we're
That's
bullying.
basically
This
two
is
dead.
not-
Like,
Now we're bullying.
Dreads a turn, yeah.
This sounds like just a casual learning game.
The Tau need help, man.
They
so
do,
weak.
but
Just point and shoot. Anybody can point and shoot.
all right, you're allowed one Magna Rail rifle. You can take one.
One?
Or
Not
like
three?
you get like it's really just
Nah, you
it's
need
a
three.
double.
You bring three.
Let's say he has that unit and he has the Relic Dread. I mean, excuse me, the Relic Ion on a Riptide. What else does he have that's actually going to do
Damage.
being able to kill 2 dreads a turn is not that shocking, right? That's like
Okay.
Oh no,
Sure.
those together will
If
kill.
you see it, you should be allowed to
three
kill
dreads
it. Sure.
okay, maybe like if you got lucky, you could kill 3. I think
I think they can. With the rest of the army,
the rest of the army,
well-
like the Relic Ion Riptide should kill one on its own.
yes, agree. And the
2 Magna Rails will kill one on their own, and then
Okay.
the third shoots a third dread,
and the rest
and
of
then
the army
the rest of
should-
your army like can, you know,
if
kill
they're good
people.
with marker lights.
that's you just killed like 700 to 800 points of the Space Marine army in one shoot phase.
Yeah, I would say.
There
but
we go. We played the game for you. That's how it ends.
Okay,
Josh, I would say protect marker lights, right? If he like the Relic Dread doesn't have a lot of good ways to. Or I keep saying Relic Dread. The Relic Riptide doesn't really have a lot of good ways to hit better. Right.
Tau Sept. No.
Depends on
That's
what-
+1 to win. No,
Cecilia has a single
don't,
reroll.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
But you have to play the
Secondary,
rest of the game.
Secondaries.
Secondary.
How would you do
Secondary.
secondaries?
So we got the killing down. Your Tau, we got the killing down. Second, you have to play the rest of the game, so you have to move and be places. So you're gonna want Vespid would be great, but you're new to the game, so you probably don't have the million-year-old Vespid metal models, or
the
I think they want Finecast.
They did. Yeah.
So what you're gonna want is Devilfish with just dudes in them. A Devilfish is 4 units. Could be even more. The Devilfish itself is a unit. It has a unit of drones that pop out when it dies. And it can carry 2 units of infantry, and they can have drones.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Like it's a party bus.
Here is his list. A little
Oh,
bit.
no
okay,
way.
okay.
All right,
So
oh,
we should have.
yeah, we should have scrolled down a
on me,
little
guys.
bit.
We spent like 5 minutes writing a
No,
list.
this is your list now.
But not surprisingly, it pretty much lines up, right? He says, plan to go Tau Sept,
Nice.
Shadow Sun.
Cold Star, Riptide, 3 broadsides, Ghost Keel, 3 stealth, 4 5-man strike teams, 7 breachers and a Devilfish, 4 crisis with 9 fusion, and mix of drones. I mean, you're gonna kill
This is
dreads.
so
Yo, this
mean.
is spicy, man.
You're
You
gonna
have
kill
9
dreads.
fusions and a fusion, or an
Cold
Ion
Star?
Riptide, and a few. Does the Cold Star have fusions? No.
Oh,
If
I just
you-
assume.
You're tailoring way too hard, man. You're gonna bully this person. They're gonna go home crying.
It could be a competitive, list.
They're gonna
It
go
could be a
home
game.
crying. John.
I think Bridger's point
Minotaurs-
is it's competitive, but maybe also a little tailored almost.
This is like just bullying.
Minotaurs are successors of.
You get to pick,
Oh, okay. Huh. Okay.
but they have their own.
They have something. What do
They have a chapter master that's like the crazy Terminator guy. Yeah, right.
Maybe.
That's Minotaurs, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Huh.
Um,
So he could go like Ultramarines, basically.
This is like cool for your objectives right here. Your ghost kill and your
3
stealth
stealth,
because they're not going to kill things otherwise. Not that you need help with all these other things that you have.
okay, so for secondaries, I would
So-
say you can start up the board with stealth squads,
And ghost kill.
but Ghost Kill's not infantry, so it's not going to do secondaries. But the squad of 3 stealth teams can do one of 2 things depending on the mission. Can raise an early banner somewhere that you wouldn't normally be able to get, or it can do Rod turn 1 on their side of the board. Now, you're probably only going to get an 8-point Rod if this is your goal.
Yep.
Keep that in mind.
Yep.
But you can throw them out, Rod their quarter, and you get your 2 quarters, that saves points. If they stop you from getting your 2 quarters, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
that's like a good.
That's your gold standard for that secondary. Can you get more than 8 with your third? Okay, so Rod is to the last still viable?
Yes, it's gonna be the Riptide, the giant unit of broadsides.
Yeah.
And probably the Ghosts.
Keel?
No, Cold Star's gonna be.
Oh,
more than that.
no, the Crisis. It's gonna be these guys.
Ooh, 4 crises with 9 fusions is very
Oh,
expensive.
it's 4 Crisis. I think it's 3.
4 crises with 9 fusions, that's expensive. Yeah.
And he has drones, which is really, if there's drones, then definitely to the last is compelling, right?
Cool. Yeah, for sure.
Well, the way that works is weird. I mean, I know what you're saying, which is drones will keep them alive. But when they split, the drones don't count for to the last anymore, which some people might think.
No, just to help keep them alive.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify, just to be 100% sure.
That
And
would
then
be
a
mean.
third one, so you have to compare it to Rod. Can you bring it down more consistently than can an 8-point Rod, right?
Well, now you're looking at 2 secondaries that give you under 10. Very likely.
Is there a better one? If like you can get like banners
Stranglehold's
or Strangle?
pretty guaranteed on most missions. You have to throw away a unit every turn, which is a bummer. But if you've tabled them in turn 2, because you probably will with this list, then it doesn't matter. You just get all your Stranglehold points. You don't throw things away because they have nothing to kill you with.
Right, like they have to come out and shoot your, strike team, and then you peek out with your, bajillion fusions and stuff like that. Your Riptide, and you just blast them.
So mean.
I like it. It's a good list. I hope you have a good time. Second time with Tau. So, make sure you don't miss anything. Take your time going through the shooting phase. It's your only phase, so, get it right.
That might be the most tailored I've ever seen a list.
You haven't seen the Space Marine list, so, maybe
That's true.
maybe that's something saucy.
Thank you, Fidel. Hi, Titans. Thank you. Thanks to you, I started Warhammer exactly 1 year ago.
Whoa.
Nice.
My current progress, 800 points of Sisters,
Nice.
3,500 points of Tau,
Wow.
Yo.
220 points of Salamanders, and
2,200.
2,200, sorry. And 6,500 points of Wolves. Do I have a problem? Keep up the amazing work. And he
That's
did
too
say
much.
in chat earlier that this is all fully painted, too.
Oh my gosh.
In a year?
That's awesome, dude.
It's a lot. You
Can we harness
I
this
am-
energy?
I can't.
So I mean, yes, I can tell you a secret to
Hold
good
on.
output, which I'm good output is don't play video games, which I think is
No. You're not going to get that out of me.
right. But that's what you got to do. You don't play video games, and you can
Oh,
think that
and-
much.
Oh, sure.
Nah. I would just sleep instead.
If you weren't playing video games, you would replace that with sleep.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that would be like you sleeping 14 hours a day, though.
I don't think he
That
has
would be me sleeping a reasonable amount.
I don't think he has a problem, because, if we have to tell this guy he has a problem, then we're admitting that we have a problem.
And this is what you like doing. This is actually, again, this is not that insane of output for a year. Again, if this is what you do,
If this is like a part-time job?
no. Like,
Oh,
if,
you're comparing like if he painted all this and
if
stuff.
he works like 9 to 5 and then he comes home, hangs out with his family and they watch some shows and he's painting, this is not insane output. That's my point.
They could also be, they could also be secondhand,
It's great output. Yeah.
I'm impressed. That's like 15,000 points in a year.
It's good.
That's a lot.
That's awesome, and we're excited to have you. And that's a great amount of stuff to have after only 1 year. Definitely keep it up.
I want to see how he stores all his stuff.
I know.
Like, does he have like crazy cool shelves?
Cardboard box.
I would say
He's not me or Adrian.
he's got to switch to some terrain now, making some terrain.
Oh.
Thank you, Alan. Greetings, Titans. Building a sisters army. How should I build my Seraphim squad?
Seraphim. These are I always mix them up, the shooty ones.
Pistol flyers.
Gotcha. Yeah.
There's really only 2 options. It's hand flamers or bolt pistols. Bolt pistols are cheaper. They're a throwaway unit. You put them on point. You make them OBSEC with the character. I don't remember her name. I'm bad with names now.
Yeah.
Too much going on. And then hand flamers, I would say only if you're Ebon Chalice.
Yeah.
Because
For
they
the
have a
mortal wounds.
Flamer strap for mortal wounds. Yeah. But in general, like unless you're Ebon Chalice, you don't really want the hand flamers because they're points for like nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anusaya Sphinx. Hey, Titans, can you play the Chaplain Dreadnought? If not, what would be a good substitute?
Chaplain Dread is
Legends? Or?
it's Legends, right? Yeah. I mean, we could. Okay, yeah. Bridger says no. Bridger says no.
It's it was a problematic unit. That's why they made it Legends. It like didn't have rules for a very long time, and then it had rules during Marine Apocalypse and was part of Marine Apocalypse. In fact, a pretty integral. It was like a linchpin of Marine Apocalypse. And then they were like, oh, there's no way to make this balanced. Okay, Legends. And that was their solution. Like, they couldn't balance the Chaplain Dread. Like, if you can just take 3 BS2 Dreadnoughts with litanies that are character blocked, you're unstoppable.
Makes sense.
Well, like, what are they going to do? You can't charge it. It's last cannons that always hit, and you can't charge it, and you can't shoot it. Because if you charge it, it'll kill you. And you can't. You're just not allowed to shoot it. So like, what do you do against the 6 las cannons that hit every turn?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
not balanced.
Yeah. Unfortunately, having units that can't die, problem.
It is a problem. Yeah. And now there's like bodyguard units.
Yeah.
Ooh.
At least bodyguards are like only for characters. You know, like the worst that it gets is like a foul blight spawn, like with a flamer. You know.
Or a Chaplain Dreadnought.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
Now there's bodyguard units, and you can have the bodyguards on one side of the wall and the Chaplain Dreads on the other side of the wall and just blasting away.
Yeah.
It would be dumb.
All right. It looks like we have one more, and it's a good one. Thank you, Magnus did nothing wrong. Distraction Carnifex time. John and Zach, who would you cast for the Primarchs in the live-action Horus Heresy miniseries for HBO?
Oh my gosh.
Adrian, Brian, and Bridger are casting, writing, and directing. Who would you cast? Who would you cast for some Primarchs, John? Is this?
Oh my gosh.
Any thoughts?
I'm really bad at names.
Oh boy. Well, you can just say this guy from this thing.
I'm also pretty bad at it.
Right. Yeah.
I could toss a few out if we
You
can.
name characters from movies.
I would definitely want to see. One of my favorite actors is Lee Pace, and he plays. So he's in superhero movies, but I don't watch any superhero movies. He's also in the new Foundation trilogy coming out.
Can you name a character he's played that I would know?
Lee Pace. Let's see.
Not his name again.
Yeah, let's see what superhero movies he's in because
All right,
I know you guys like those.
All right, John, let's hear you.
All right. Oh geez.
Oh no.
Ferris Manus?
Okay.
Right? Wait, Space Wolves? Right? No, Lehman Russ.
Lehman Russ is Space Wolves,
The guy who played in WoW, the WoW movie, main character.
The animated WoW movie?
No. The actual, like, the live action WoW movie. He was also a Viking.
Live action WoW movie?
In Vikings? You guys know what I'm talking about. Vikings.
There was a live action World of Warcraft movie?
There was a World of Warcraft.
Are you sure that was animated?
No.
That was CGI.
Well, it's CGI, but there was real actors in
No,
them.
but the whole movie was CGI.
Oh, my God.
Oh boy,
Here we go.
Lee Pace as Fulgrim. Exactly. Yes, somebody in chat. Yeah.
Who is Lee Pace?
So he plays a character named Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I haven't seen. He's also
in Walking Dead.
Lee Pace is not in Walking Dead.
Wait, what?
He is in.
Oh, Ronan. Just kidding.
He is
the other blue guy.
He is in Halt and Catch Fire. If you guys ever seen that show, it's about computer programmers like you.
I would never watch that.
So I think he would be awesome as Fulgrim. I also think that Jeffrey Wright, who is in Westworld, he's Bernard in Westworld, would be super cool as Magnus.
Who are all these people?
Yeah, these guys
I'm just
actually,
like-
Magnus, these guys actually do not really watch TV.
We don't have time.
They watch anime and they play video games. So
And a lot of Warhammer.
right, and a lot of Warhammer.
Excessive amounts
But
of
any kind of
Warhammer.
live action people, nobody. Maybe Adrian, like Brett knows Brett engages in almost no pop culture.
Brian's pretty good about
Brian
pop
and
culture
Adrian and
stuff.
I are like the only people that know like real world actors. Magnus. So I'm sorry.
Oh, Liam Neeson. I know that guy.
You're just naming an actor you know?
That is one actor.
Hold on, he would make.
That's the real
I
question.
think I don't see him as anybody. He's,
No,
he's a little
he-
old. He's a little old for
Oh,
him.
Travis Fimmel is the Warcraft actor.
Wait, hold on. That whole movie was CGI though, right? Like, anyway, Liam Neeson could
He's a little too old, I think.
be
God.
Corvus Corax.
Wait,
no,
no.
that's so old.
Where are my Space Marines?
He's so old,
Hold
I think,
on.
for that.
Keanu Reeves is Korax.
Yeah, I think that's a better. Even that is.
Thank you, Chad.
Corvus Corax is not that cool though. He screws up everything all the time and whines.
I mean, Keanu Reeves is pretty
Keanu
good
is a bit mopey,
yeah.
which is probably where they're coming from. But that's really just from that one meme of Keanu Reeves sitting on a bench.
on a bench, yeah.
That's it. That's our only reason we think Keanu's mopey. Other than that, he's supposed
really
to be
not
cool.
mopey. Yeah, he's not a mopey guy.
But I think
You know,
Liam Neeson could either be Night Haunter or Corvus, and he gruffly yells at people.
I mean, sure.
Where are they?
He's also old, but I would, of course, want to see some sort of Ron Perlman-based involvement as one of these characters.
oh my god.
If you're going to pick somebody that's quite old to be a Primarch,
This keeps coming back. Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito have to be Alfarius in a movie.
that would be just funny. All right, Michael Cody says, sorry to sneak this in late, but I was so captivated by the Brett birthday phone call story. I just lost myself in the setting. Bridger, you are a poet. I missed the story. It was basically you tried to call him and...
The whole story was I was on a call with Brett, and he said it was his birthday, and I said happy birthday.
No.
What?
That's that is an interesting story. Michael, I'm
wait,
glad you
wait.
liked that story.
Owen Wilson as Sanguinius. I don't know, man.
No, he's not pretty enough. Owen Wilson's face is not cutting the mustard
Oh
here.
my.
It's a sanguineous.
That's a hard role to fill. He's probably going to be CGI.
Who's the guy who played Captain America?
Oh.
If he grew his hair out,
that was my first thought, but I was like, I don't know.
they would just need a really nice wig for him.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of these superhero
Or even like a
movies.
Thor, maybe? Thor?
Oh, he's like a little
that
overly
Hems-
masculine.
Is that
thing.
Hemsworth.
Chris
Hemsworth,
yeah.
His face is too masculine though. He comes off as a Viking of like,
True.
He could be Lehman Russ. maybe.
Sanguinius has to have like very subtle features and,
Sure.
you know, he's got to make everybody aroused.
Okay, thank you, IWSJC. Hey guys, why doesn't competitive 40K widely use markers for abilities on units or measuring sticks for quick checks like a 9-inch one? Other games seem to. I've wondered this myself.
It's just not standardized.
We do
really.
sometimes. Remember when Hammerhead Games made that 9-inch thing, and everybody was using it for like 6 months, and then they're kind of big and bulky, and we stopped using them.
The 9-inch one also breaks you're talking about the acrylic. Like John loves the little 3-inch one.
The 3-inch ones
I
are
brought
good.
some more in today.
Yeah.
And John used
I used
both
them
of them.
today, yeah.
And the original one. He used 3 different 3-inch measuring tools today.
They're all mine. I've claimed them all.
But the 9-inch one snaps a lot,
snaps a lot.
unfortunately. Yes, I think like beyond 6 inches, you start. They start
getting-
breaking.
It's getting riskier and riskier.
Like, where are you keeping it? You're going to put it in the bottom of your tray and
break.
put a bunch of models on it, or you're going to put it in a backpack.
That's
Backpacks
definitely going to
Oh,
break.
flex against
that's
your back.
where
It's
already
that's
broken.
already a mistake.
But people do use a lot of like custom tokens.
Yeah.
I wish GW, because they've done this before, they can put cardboard inserts with punch-out tokens in codexes. They've done it.
Or in unit boxes.
Ooh,
by the
better.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I will say a couple things about this personally. One is that one of the reasons there used to be a 6-inch one that we all used in like 7th edition earlier, but when 8th edition came out, instead of infantry move 6 inches, like elves move 7 inches now,
Right,
and
or 8.
Kroot move 7, and like everybody started moving different
It's a
inches.
little
So
weird.
immediately, my 6-inch one was like, well, this now is good for fire warriors, and that's kind of about it.
Yeah.
Crisis suits moved 8. Everything moved different in my army, and the 6-inch was only really useful for humans and
Marines, yeah.
some things,
Right.
right? So that happened. So then the 9-inch one you're talking about, again, I had it. Lots of people in our club had it. They break. The 9-inch one breaks. It breaks like if you're playing regularly, it breaks. And
There was somebody who had triangular, so it's a triangular prism, and it has 1 inch marked all the way to 9. So it's a 9-inch stick with 1 inch marked on it, and it seemed cool.
And it's like, it's a triangle, so it's harder to break, is where you're gonna?
Well, it's like, it's almost circular, so like it's not, it's very bendy, so it's not going to break because it's very flexible. And it's triangular, so it will sit flat on the table. It was, so it won't roll away, I think is the idea.
Are you understanding this?
Do you know what a
'Cause he
triangular
says
prism is?
He says it's round, triangle,
Triangle.
flexible,
Okay, all
and
right.
it sits on the table. It sounds like you're thinking
Take a
about
triangle
This is a,
and another
Hey,
triangle.
whoa, there's a lot going on here.
And extrude between them, that's triangular prism.
Okay.
We need a whiteboard.
You with me so far?
Sure. Oh, okay.
All
I
right,
see.
and now bow out the
Oh,
edges.
I see. Okay.
So all the edges are a bit rounded.
I actually know what you're talking about. This Games Workshop made this.
Yes.
It's a red stick.
Yeah, it is red.
It's 18 inches long.
There's a
And
9-inch one.
There's a 9-inch one. Okay. That actually came with the 5th edition starter box, which is like Blackreach. It was called. Yeah, the stick, the 18-inch stick. But the problem with that thing is that
18's way too long.
yeah, the 18-inch one like bowed, and also like weirdly wasn't actually 18 inches. Like you could put it right next to a ruler, and it was not 18 inches, like 16 and a half. This thing actually wasn't even that close.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not. People will confirm this in chat. If any of you guys had the red stick that came with Battle for Blackreach, it wasn't actually 18 inches. It was weird.
They're still on casting these Primex, and there's actually a lot of good ideas in here.
Yeah, better than us.
Better than us for sure.
Although I see, Carl Urban. I thought that said Keith Urban. I'm like, country singer. I don't think he's
Dude,
gonna.
Carl Urban is actually, I don't know why I didn't think of that. He's actually a great actor. I love like all his movies that he's in.
And Magnus, I think Willem Dafoe's he's like a little too old to play.
Really?
Zach, why are you? We have CGI. We've had old actors play young characters.
I think
for
like young
20
actors
years.
should play young characters. Like these old actors have had plenty of work. Like let's like
Yeah. Sure.
like
Give the people
Malcador.
what they want.
Willem Dafoe should play Malcador. He's a little creepy.
Okay.
He's very old, dilapidated.
Okay.
No, I mean Willem Dafoe looks good for his age, but he's pretty old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be my pick, but
Who would you pick to play Malcador, Bridger?
who's the guy? I think he's dead now. But the guy who played
Probably can't do it then, even with CGI.
Oh no.
the guy who played Magneto, is he dead?
Ian.
Ian.
No. Ian McKellen played Professor X.
No, Ian McKellen played Magneto.
You're thinking about Star Trek guy.
Patrick.
Patrick.
Oh, Patrick Stewart. Yeah,
Patrick
yeah.
Stewart played.
Are they both still alive?
Patrick Stewart's alive, and I think Ian McKellen is
Yeah, I think you're thinking of.
still alive.
I think Ian
still alive.
McKellen.
Ian McKellen.
I think Ian
Yeah,
McKellen
yeah,
would
yeah.
make a good Malcador.
Ian McKellen.
You're thinking
is,
about the guy who played Dumbledore. Passed away.
Well,
Because
the first Dumbledore died,
and then Ian took
but
over.
that dude was like 100 when the movie was filmed. Anyway,
Well, guys,
back to hold on.
the template question.
We're just digging,
Back
we're
to
just digging
tokens.
holes.
What I did when I went to SoCal with Ultramarines and did very poorly, but not because of this, is that army was like the first army that had a bunch of buffs that I had ever played that you have to keep track of. It was like I had litanies and I had psychic powers and I had just all this stuff to keep track of. So I had 2 trees of psychic powers and a tree of litanies, and that was back when you got to pick every game. So I had to keep
Right.
track of 18 buffs that like I would have to know. So I took poker chips, like really satisfying thick plastic poker chips, and they
remember
smack
these.
against each other and
Yeah.
it makes a great sound. And I just wrote on all of them. So I took 18 poker chips and they were color coded for what they were, and it was great. And I approve of custom tokens, but people don't do it because like it's work. And honestly, you know how when you move a unit and you forget to move their wound marker? That happens every time with these tokens. You buff a unit and you'll move it,
Yeah.
and the tokens will all get left behind.
That's me.
It's a guarantee.
You're like, wow, this empty quarter of the table has feel no pain.
This is a good strategy. It's a competitive strategy. You leave your wound marker behind,
Yeah.
and then the enemy runs into it.
And
But
they
no
trip.
because,
Now
then,
they-
no, because then they get feel no pain. Like, look, I have got feel no pain. Like, oh,
All right, don't leave the field of pain behind. You can leave the wound markers behind.
wound markers behind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we have a
wounds.
couple more.
We have a couple more from Hazard Brewing. Let's let them show up here. I will say, as they show up here, the last thing I feel about this competitive or any 40K event is that I will say, if you've got like beautiful armies and a beautiful terrain, sometimes a lot of markers I feel like make the board look a little junky.
Yeah.
And maybe that's okay in a competitive setting, but I would personally I would at least like the markers to look nice. Maybe be
Poker chips?
Poker chips is not looking nice, I would say, with permanent marker in on them.
Good example.
Yeah, not the best. Yeah. Thank you, Hazard Brewing. But seriously, though, wait, the
backwards.
other way around. Yep. Thank you, Hazard Brewing. Gee, guys, thanks for getting me into a hobby where I'm using forwarding services so I can stop Forge World that only ships to other countries. But seriously, though, I wanted to thank you all for helping me discover this hobby a little over a year ago. I love everything you all do. Keep it up. Well, thank you.
Thanks,
That's
Hazard.
great to hear. Yeah.
Thanks, Hazard Brewing.
I remember Hazard being around like when we started, like a gajillion, billion, bazillion years ago.
We've seen
awesome.
the name a lot. Yeah. Great to have you around, guys. We did it.
We did it.
We did it. What do you think? Anything else?
Awesome.
I think we did a great
Yeah.
job.
Do we want to recap the week again, or
Yeah. So today's Saturday, which means the next game is Tuesday.
indeed?
And John, you're gonna be back for that.
I'm gonna be back. It's gonna be premium members only. Drukari versus Sisters. Adrian's gonna be back from the tournament. All like hyped up on his tournament win streak, probably. And I'm gonna be head to head with him. Drukari versus Sisters, very MSU style. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, before we go any further, we did get one more.
Oh no.
Gosh, open Discord. I can't read it from
So
here.
Wednesday,
Wednesday on Hobby Titans. As mentioned, we are painting Zangors because Saturday on the stream, Thousand Suns will be being played by Brian. And we have a lot of Thousand Suns. We kind of have like a cobbled collection. It's an army I'm actually making for myself. But we don't have Zangors really around. So we have Zangor Enlightened, but no just like straight Zangor. So I'll work on that. We'll paint 5 up on the stream on Wednesday. So please join us. Get to see how to do some skin. Also, the model looks very ornate, but I've been working on some. They come together pretty quick. So we'll show some tips for that. Let's read these super chats real quick. Thank you again, Magnus did nothing wrong. Henry Cavill as Sanguinius. Willem Dafoe as Conrad Cruz. Bridger Hahn as
Lorgard? No. I would make a decent Lorgard.
the dude who played the warlord from the new Mad Max as Mortarion. Vin
Ooh.
Diesel as Angron. No, hard pass on Vin Diesel.
Wait, hold on. Let's address this. What do you not like about Vin Diesel?
So Angron's going to have to like get hurt. Vin Diesel is like this thing where he can never like get hurt or like lose
doesn't do his
any
own
fights.
stunts.
No, he has like these weird like.
But he gets punched in fights, and then he wins.
Oh, I don't know if does he even ever actually does that happen? Him like Stallone have like these infamously famous like riders where like
Stallone got
they can never be bad
beat up
guys.
so bad.
They can never lose.
Oh,
like,
I see
Have
what
you
you're
seen
saying.
any Rocky movie? He gets
Yeah,
the
that was
spit beat out of him.
early. I mean, he wrote those movies, but it changed over time.
well. Okay, so if you don't like Vin Diesel, no, we're gonna solve it.
As Angron,
What about The Rock? Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
The Rock also has The Rock never plays a bad guy, so he can't be Angron.
Angron's
No,
not
he
a
plays
bad guy.
bad. He
He's
kinda plays-
misunderstood. And he played the Scorpion King. Excuse me, Zach.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Again,
He was also kind of the
guys,
first
Oh my god, I
time
wish
he was
Megan was
in
in chat. We were just
Fast and
having this
Furious.
conversation about these guys.
Oh,
that
the Scorpion King's a good guy? Is that what
No,
you're
no,
saying?
but since that's again early movie,
I
like
mean-
they have these writers after this.
This will be the biggest movie of their careers. They'll take the role we give them, Zach.
Okay, I don't think they would see it this way. The Rock probably would not consider this. Carl Urban as Dorn. I actually don't know who Carl Urban is. I have to
Carl
look this
Urban
up.
is
Again,
he's
I
in
thought it
a
was
ton of sci-fi and
Keith
fantasy movies. He's the guy that's like, oh, this is my pile of stuff in the memes in the Thor memes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is my pile of stuff. Or he also played Judge Dredd.
He was in the new Dread, which I just saw. It was actually really
It's
good.
not bad, dude.
It was really.
You seem surprised by that.
The original's not great.
Intentionally bad.
And then like lots of remakes of like bad movies, like
Also intentionally
from
bad.
the past 10
Pretty
years
often.
ago, are often not good. But wow, the
He's in
2012 Dread
a
was.
ton of good movies though.
Well,
And
what,
then,
did,
Dredd-
what did you think about the remake of Blade? Not Blade. Blade?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
What do you think
Oh,
about
I
the
thought it
remake?
was
of
cool, but that's not. I mean, those are like interesting movies that have like good source material. That if you just, I feel, kind of do it and stylistically, it's going to come out good. But Judge Dredd is it's a little goofy. Like the source material is a little goofy.
Well, the source material was a satire.
Right. I mean, it's a little goofy, right?
Yeah.
So the 2012 one, very, very good. Pretty dark, a little gritty. I like it.
I like it, yeah.
These are good castings, Magnus, but I definitely would say hard pass on Vin Diesel. For
Vin
me,
Diesel's out.
Vin
Yeah.
Diesel's out for sure.
You gotta at least try to.
The Rock is in.
No, The Rock is out too. The Rock is like 2 Rainbows and Sunshine for 40K.
I think
No, he could do it.
You know,
He
who'd be
has a wide range.
You know who I want to see?
characters.
You know who I want to see as Iron Warriors? Perturabo is Idris Elba, be so cool. He's like just so stone cold and serious.
Okay.
He's a bad guy.
Who is this?
Idris Elba?
Idris Elba. Yeah.
He's like a
His name sounds
an
familiar.
actor?
Give me a movie.
Kingsman, right? He was in the Kingsman.
He's in those.
He's in a bunch of like adult movies that
Is he the bald guy?
people like us don't
No,
watch.
he's a villain. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Idris Elba. Yeah, he was in he was in the movie with the latest Fast and the Furious.
He's
Hobbs
also-
and Shaw with.
Oh, there you go. He's
Jason
also in
Statham.
Suicide Squad. The new one.
Was he? Oh, the new one.
The new one.
I didn't see the new one. Was it good?
It was not bad. It was good.
Yeah, he'd be super cool. Okay, last chat
What
for
if we
maybe for real this
Hold
time.
on, Zach. What if we brought back Tommy Lee Jones to
Too old.
play Malkador?
Oh yeah, maybe that'd be cool.
I also since we're going back, we do have to address Henry Cavill. I don't know Sanguinis. He's obviously the Emperor. I feel like
Oh,
you know.
wow.
I think he
Okay.
would probably fit best in that role. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think he looks good blonde. I don't know. I can't imagine it. Yeah.
Yeah, he would,
Sanguinis is just a hard role to fill, man.
he would be a good emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would love that. He's all about 40K.
Yeah.
Thank you, LOL Chaos 13. Hey all, so I'm going full meme lord and trying to build a 2K list of pure Raven Guard Phobos. How would you all approach it?
Whoa.
Raven Guard Phobos.
I mean,
Do they need Phobos though?
no, not at all. But you're pretty restricted. If it's all Phobos, there's only like a few things you can really change. Like your troops are infiltrators or incursors. I would recommend incursors. You already have the whole board. You don't need to block out deep strikes, and just fight people with your knives.
Yeah.
You're gonna want 3 units of eliminators because
Why
they're
not?
good as Raven Guard.
And they're super
Yeah,
cool.
killing
just
killing
cool.
characters all day.
+1 to hit and wound characters.
Yeah.
Even though you already can do that with anyway.
You're already
take
hitting on twos. Yeah. I don't know.
3 units of eliminators, and then Phobos characters. Can bring in victors.
Ooh. Okay.
Don't bring reavers; they're bad.
This is a.
I feel like we've run out of what else
It's
is
very
Phobos
fluffy
anymore?
though. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else in Phobos.
There's not a ton. I think you got it.
That
I think
was
it's big.
everything.
I think it's big that you got characters that are Phobos, right? That's like usually Raven Guard. They don't have full infiltrate. They have like a D3 or no 1 unit can infiltrate. That usually does.
There's a warlord trait
that
to
brings,
redeploy themselves and a unit
okay.
9 inches away from enemies.
Okay, so you can do that and then another Phobos character or something. I don't know.
It's like the problem with Phobos Raven Guard. It's super fluffy, but they wrote the rules for Raven Guard so that like they invalidate the point of Phobos. It's like, okay, you start up the board, but if you're not Phobos, we're going to take you up the board. So it's like you could be half Phobos, half not, and it would still work because you just take
would be
the
the-
non-Phobos guys with you.
That would be the efficient way. Yeah.
Well, I have to say we have a few more in. People, we're always super appreciative of any donations, but I do not know that people should be donating anything to us to
Whoa.
make casting decisions based on
All
Horus
right,
Heresy.
Zach.
Thank you,
Back
Crypt
off.
Shadow. Suicide Squad was great. Best DC movie in a long time. Also, Ultramarines did good. Gilliman doesn't blame you, John. Black Templar hype. Crypt Shadow just like summed up a bunch of
180.
different.
Wait, so okay, but the original Suicide Squad or the new one? Please don't super chat to answer this question. But the original
Is it Suicide Squad? Are you talking about Suicide Squad or the Suicide Squad?
Wait, what did they name the new one?
The Suicide
No.
Yeah, it's very similar.
You're
I remember being
kidding
confused
me.
for a second, having to look it up.
Because it doesn't say Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah.
more
Why
like-
would they do that?
Maybe because they were not happy
Was
with
Will
the
Smith
original.
in?
No. They got who's the guy that you just showed me? What's
Idris Elba?
Idris Elba, yeah.
To play Deadshot?
No, it's a totally different. Deadshot is doing his own thing, and now there's another guy, pretty much the same guy, just different character.
I'm not getting it. Like, what's the appeal of this movie? Is Harley Quinn
It's
still in
good
it?
though. Yes, Harley Quinn is still in there.
Okay.
Boomerang is still in there.
Well, no, every other character in that. Those were the only 2 characters in that movie. Everybody else was a throwaway garbage character, and they knew it.
They were part of the
That's
Suicide
true.
Squad.
That was the only thing that made the movie interesting. Were those? Yeah.
Sure.
Everybody else.
Well, I mean, they're the big hitters. I mean, I also like the captain too. What's his name? The leader, the white dude, had the girlfriend in the first movie.
Oh yeah, I can't remember.
He was cool.
Yeah.
I thought
I
thought it was a good movie. The second one was good.
The
The
captain?
actor's name is Jeremy Reiner, I believe. Yeah. played that.
He's
just like a guy with a gun. He's almost like not
he's
a
like
superhero,
the good guy. He's like the government
Yeah.
army dude.
The guy who was like yelling at them.
He's
all the time.
not actually.
He was like, if you do
he's the
anything, I'll
leader.
blow you up.
Right.
And he just said that all the time.
Yeah.
It was like half his lines.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'll blow you up. You're gonna get blown up.
Okay,
Keep talking.
Magnus says, thank you, Magnus. And he says, realish, last chat, who is Horus? I saw somebody in Horus suggest Jason Statham, which is sort of cool, but actually I think Jason Statham is, again, a little too, like, kind of fun. And
Sure. I saw that in chat. Yeah, Statham would be not bad. I
Visually, he could look
There's
like
so
that.
many good actors we haven't worked in
Honestly,
this movie.
Captain Flag was his name. Captain Flag.
We have to get Will Smith in this movie. We have to get Ryan
Wait,
Reynolds
where does-
in this movie.
No, these people are not. Oh my god, you're casting like almost like a comedy, like a
Ryan Reynolds is just like a space marine. Like he's just a regular. No, he's like not even that. He's just like a dude.
You know who would be really good as Horus? I actually this actor's very good, and he's a little older too, but he's in the early Walking Dead, and he played Merle, and he's I forget
Walking
his name.
Dead. Oh,
Early Walking Dead. He played Daryl's brother. Remember, he's like kind of a bad guy.
He was also in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, he plays the. Yeah. What's that? Do you know that actor's name?
No.
Somebody in chat's gonna know.
We know. Yeah.
The Rock, no, not as Horus. The Rock is like really nice. He's like a sweet dude.
Well, so was Horus.
Zach is like,
No.
stop trying to make The Rock happen.
Okay, how about this? How about this? The Rock is Horus until he turns, and then it's just like a totally different actor. And it's just like
Just recast it.
it's just
yeah.
recast. Like the next scene, he like wakes up
Not even
from
until the next movie. Just like
mid movie. He wakes up from like being stabbed, and he's just like totally
He's like
different.
laying on a bed. They showed The Rock with a stab wound laying on a bed, and you go behind the camera goes behind a pillar, and it comes out. It's a different actor.
Yeah. Michael Roker. Yes, thank you, Chad. Michael Roker, I think, would be kind of cool as.
Who? Pulp Fiction, also Marvel movies. Eye Patch.
Oh, Samuel.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Why is he not in this movie, Zach? He's old, but
Yeah, he could maybe.
what if he was Malcador?
Okay.
Oh, Will Smith will do the soundtrack for sure.
Oh God, I don't like that. All right, thank you, Ape of Justice.
Wild West soundtrack.
Hey all, great game. Little late getting here, which is probably why Ape of Justice is confused about the stuff we're talking about. But it was a nail biter right to the end. Also, sweet to see Draxus. The Draxus I did for Titan Watch, make it on. Yes.
Yeah.
John was like, yeah.
I was like, literally, there's a pile of boxes with your models in there. I dove in there. I was like, I know there's a Draxus in here.
He
Gotta
broke
find it.
like
I was like,
70% of the models. So sorry, guys.
No, he
He was swimming around in there.
just like
stirring. We did have some models.
There's a lot of stirring
in today's
pre-game and then during the game.
Let me get these Poxwalkers.
I gotta shift around these intercessors a little bit.
Okay, I think we did it for real this time, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed the game. Glad to play your model.
We didn't finish going over next week. Do we want to
I
do
think
that?
we're-
Do we care?
I think we're on Thursday.
Thursday.
What's happening Thursday?
Thursday, I will be playing Custodes against Brian's Admech. Don't count me out. I'm going to win that game.
It's the first time we're gonna see Brian in a long time on the stream. We gotta give him a huge welcome back, right?
Yeah. And he better not roll all those sixes, because that would make me real sad.
Saturday's fun because it's the original crew getting back into it, right? You, Brian, and Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And they'll be playing, Brian and Adrian will be playing Orcs against Thousand Suns.
You're going to be producing. When's the last time you produced a game? It's been a while.
I produce every week, Zach.
It's just usually
are you
on
talking about?
Thursdays?
I'm not here for it, so I don't know.
Zach, I produce every Thursday.
Because it's either you or me, so it's
You haven't produced it in a while.
That's not true. I produced this last Thursday. I'm producing
If
this
you don't
Thursday.
see producer Bridger, he doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, who's doing this?
Awesome. I think we did it.
Whew, we did it.
I hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend. We're going to have a nice, relaxing one as well. See you guys Tuesday, and see you guys next time on the tabletop.
Bye.
Bye.